Thank you so much. I think I will be failing in my duties if I don't recognize Honorable Kiraitu Murungi. For those of you who are old enough, these are the people who brought what was called the second liberation. The liberties that we enjoy, the freedoms that we enjoy, are actually part of their contribution. I remember, just before I make my remarks, that in this country, for you to hold any public rally, you had to get a permit from the district commissioner, and you list all those that are supposed to speak. And if you are not on that permit, you not speak. If you speak, you will be arrested and taken to court. So those are some of some of the things that they fought to get rid of with the new constitution and with multipartyism coming to Kenya. So I'm really pleased to join you today at the People's Dialogue Festival 2025, a gathering driven by our young legislators and embodies the spirit of open and inclusive governance. I wish to commend the organizers for providing this platform to deliberate on governance and citizen engagement in our counties. Devolution intended to bring the government closer to the people, enhance service delivery, and promote participatory governance. So at the heart of this framework are the members of county assemblies who serve as a critical link between the executive, the legislature, and the people they represent. So I stand here with the great courage and accomplishment of a man who has seen devolution in 360 degrees, like I said. I've been on the legislative and executive side of devolution, and I therefore want to emphasize that it's not a mere angular or linear transfer of power and purpose from the national government to the county governments, as many have touted. It is a multidimensional approach that seeks to define governance along political and corporate lines. The political goodwill is necessary to give confidence to the elected leaders that indeed they have the mandate of the people to be in office. Corporate governance ensures that the counties are managed based on principles akin to conducting business with integrity, fairness, transparency with regard to practice, transactions, disclosures, compliance with the laws of the land, accountability and responsibility. And just before devolution, the system we had, because I served in it, called what you would call decentralization, where, of course, as a district commissioner or those in the field, decisions will come from the top, but you do not have money to implement. The difference between that decentralization and devolution is that now the power to make decisions was taken to the people, right to the ground. And then we also have finances to implement what you want to do. But decentralization before devolution, you would come up with good ideas, but you did not have the finance to implement. Things like the budget, people did not even know, did not even participate in the budget making process. In fact, the budget was such a secret. I remember one time there was an assistant minister who was sacked for leaking the budget. But these days, all of us participate in the budget making process, either at the county or the national level. So participation is a critical aspect of democratic governance, as it allows citizens to actively engage in making decisions that affect their lives. Devolution has significantly reshaped governance by decentralizing power and resources to the county governments. County assemblies have been central to this process by institutionalizing public engagement in policy making, budgeting, and oversight. Over the last 12 years, they have adopted various mechanisms to enhance citizen participation, strengthen accountability, and promote inclusive governance. It was very interesting when a question was asked, what MCS do? I think that was very, very critical, because there's a lot of misunderstanding. MCS are supposed to provide oversight, legislation, and representation. They are not supposed to execute, because if you execute, then how can you oversight what you're executing? And that's also the problem that we have been having with members of parliament when it comes to CDF. That's why the courts have termed them illegal, because you're supposed to oversight, you cannot be executing, and at the same time you're oversighting yourself. So the role of the MCS must also be very clear on what they do. So realistically, devolution will only succeed with the requisite resources, human and physical, public awareness, and structures founded on the national values espoused in the Constitution, so that people can prioritize their needs and make decisions unique to themselves and their county. All these things are completely different, because in the past, somebody would sit in Nairobi and decide that Bungoma needs water. Maybe our priorities are road, or we need a road, when the priorities are completely different. So these days, that's why there's public participation in everything that you do. If you undertake any project, without public participation, and any mwananchi goes to court, he will succeed because it's part of the constitution. Mwananchi himself must say, we want water. And as a governor, as an MC, you cannot go against the wishes of the people because you are leading people, are not leading yourself. So in the 45 wards, for example, in Bungoma, will almost be the first contact representatives. We have 45 wards, for example, in Bungoma, if we use it. So those are the first contact people right there. So strong participation governance requires a robust legal framework, a well-informed and engaged county assembly, and effective subnational legislation. Counties being highly homogeneous are prone to challenges such as political interference and resource constraints, which negatively enhance citizen engagement. And I can tell you that there's a lot of improvement. The quality of the MCAs that we are having today is a big improvement from the first lot that we got, because most of the people that we got at that particular time had graduated from councillors, the local authorities, and therefore they became MCAs, and most of them still continued behaving like they were still councillors. But now with the third layer, we are getting very, very brilliant people coming in as members of the county assembly. And I want to encourage the young people also to come in, because if you are going to oversight, if you are going, for example, as an MCA to vet, say a CC is going to be CC Health, then you need to have that background. You need to have knowledge to be able to vet. You can imagine if you don't have any formal education, of course you have been voted by the people. You are vetting an engineer. What happens is you'll want to cover up your shortcomings by being very harsh and imagining that this member is either being arrogant or something like that. So we want to encourage quality MCS, because you are the people who are right at the center there. So I don't want to talk much. I've quite a lot, but I think I'll want it to be an engagement so that it doesn't appear like I'm just talking on my own. But the takeaway is that public participation is important. The MCS must also understand the legal framework under which they are operating. They must be able also to carry out the public participation in the areas so that their people are enlightened, and our people have also become so much enlightened. So I think as we continue dialoguing, I will be also getting some questions, practical and even theoretical questions that I can respond to. Thank you.
Tumpige makofi. Thank you so much, Governor. Your 360 degrees view of what you're discussing today is very important. And so for purposes of context to what you're discussing, I'd like to ask the people in the audience just like a poll to give us a perspective of what you're discussing today. So how many of you in the room have attended a ward level public participation meeting? Good. Next one, how many in the room have reported a service delivery related issue in your ward or county? Reported, raised a service delivery issue? Okay, that's good. Thirdly, how many in the room have proposed a project or idea to a county official? Any county official you've proposed? And lastly, how many in the room have recently come across a call for public participation at the county or ward level? Recently come across a call for public participation. Okay, so that helps also for the members in the panel to just see and have an idea how it looks